Hi gang, I'm here just outside of Las Vegas and just during SEMA at the Spring Mountain Motorsports Ranch, where I just had the chance to spend a little bit of quality time in what is perhaps the most track-worthy Camaro SS, and that is coming up right now on the Fast Lane Car. Coming up on this week's exciting episode of the Fast Lane Car, I get behind the wheel of the Dodge Charger Hellcat, finishing up our mega Hellcat versus Hellcat mashup. I'm just waiting for Dukes of Hazzard launch. Nathan flies to LA to check out the beautiful girls. No, make that the cool cars of this week's LA Auto Show, giving you his top 5 cars from LA. Emme dreams about the Earth.
And look, it's Earth Dreams technology. VTIC just kicked in, yo!
And I get up close and personal with the most expensive car I have ever had the chance to sit in.
But yes, you're right. Pulling up to a light, you will never see two Paganis alike.
So sit back, buckle up. The Fast Lane Car is coming up now.
This is the Audi Prologue, and it's the only vehicle on the list that is a concept car prototype. And the reason why is because we think this is the new face of Audi completely throughout the line in the next few years. And guess what's going to happen? People are going to copy them just like they've been copying them for years.
You're the engineer who is responsible for creating this track weapon / street car.
Yep, and we work closely with the production team that created the Z28, the 1LE, and the Z01, and we're just taking a combination of those parts and flowing them down to a Camaro SS.
All right, so let's talk about the power first. How much power do we have?
This is a head and cam kit that has increased the horsepower by 40 horsepower.
So a total of?
Now, so essentially it's going from 426 horsepower to a peak of 456.
So much more buttoned down. You know, going over that elevation change, there was no looseness whatsoever.
Right, and I think that's attributed to our DSSV dampers that come right out of the Z28. Almost 2 times the damping force as a 1LE.
Wow. And tell me about this differential that you have on this, right? How does it work?
This has a helical limited slip differential right out of the Z28, and it acts like an open differential on corner turn-in. So it's really quick, and that'll actually transfer the torque to the faster spinning tire and rotate you right down to the apex and give you maximum tractive effort on the corner exit.
I got way behind on those corners. You were a little scared. I was a little scared. But don't worry, I won't crash this. when you take these turns, you can really sense that back end coming around. It's incredible how much, let's call them muscle pony cars, whatever you want to call them, have become sports cars, right?
Right.
Because this is a lot of weight. Let's face it, it's a lot of weight behind and in front of this car.
But wouldn't you say that you notice a difference when you go from the SS up through the track, or the street Camaro SS to the track Camaro SS, that the car feels lighter, more nimble, more on its toes?
Yeah, you know, it feels like somebody that's like a heavyweight boxer but carries their weight in such a way that you can't tell it's there, right?
Right.
It's nimble, it's muscular, it's powerful, and yet at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's getting in the way of the driving performance of this vehicle. So there you have it for all you Chevy guys and gals out there. If you're looking for the ultimate Camaro SS, there it is. Just at home on the track as it is on the road. Well, actually I haven't taken on the road, so don't know about the road, but I certainly know about the track. Fast and, I know it's a cliche, furious.
Folks, behind me we have the next one, which is one of my favorites. And the reason why is because it's like a Mazda 3 that someone pumped up and made larger. It's the new Mazda CX3. It's a small sports utility crossover, and I think it's going to sell like hotcakes.
The coupe, or the coupe, as those across the pond like to say. It's the choice for those who maybe can't commit to a car with only 2 seats, but definitely want to commit to a car with only 2 doors. What kind of muscle does the 2015 Honda Accord Coupe have behind it? We'll find out next, coming up on the Fast Lane Car. Under the hood, Honda's given us a 3.5 liter V6, good for 278 horsepower and 252 pound-feet of torque. And look, it's Earthstream's technology. VTIC just kicked in, yo! It will ship for you up there, but it really did. It really does let you put your foot into it and let you have a good time. And there's just the teeniest, tiniest little bit of torque steer up there. Just a little bit, just to make it exciting. And cameraman Andrew lost something. What happened?
Audio recorder fell down. I think we're still recording.
Are we still recording? Okay,
yeah, I'm still recording. My headphones came out.
Okay. It was so powerful, his headphones flew right off of his head. The inside, we have a very nicely designed interior. I really like the contrast of the cream and the black seats here. I've got everything that you would want in a new car. I've got Bluetooth, cruise control, heated seats, dual climate control. My driver's seat is power adjustable like 10 million ways. Okay, actually only 10, there's not 10 million. And it has 2 memory settings. I've got a multifunctional steering wheel, a backup camera. I mean, all of that stuff that you would want. Now, getting into a coupe can sometimes be difficult, but it's not too bad in the Accord. However, I mean, I'm 5'9", like my head's really touching the top of the car here, but I do have plenty of knee space. Now, Honda does think that this is a 5-passenger car because there is a seat belt here for whoever gets the terrible middle seat, because, yeah, that's really bad, super uncomfortable.
This is one of my favorite parts of the list, and that's because we're not talking about just beauty, but something very, very cool that a lot of you were dying for, including me. And that's a Jaguar F-Type with a manual transmission. That's right, you can get that, it's available. You know what else is available? All-wheel drive, across the board. I cannot believe it. That means you can get an F-Type with all-wheel drive. Very cool stuff. Will we be getting one in Colorado? I hope so. Will I be buying one? I'm thinking about selling the children and a few organs.
Last week on episode 1 of the Fast Lane Car, I got behind the wheel of the Challenger Hellcat. Today, it's the other Hellcat's turn, the Charger. And let's find out which of these two Inferno Gato, is that how you say it in Spanish? Sorry, I think I butchered that, is the Hellcat to buy. Alright gang, I'm in the Charger now, the 4-door, and the best way to keep that in mind is Challenger has 2 L's, 2 doors, Charger doesn't, so 4 doors. Over the years, of course, that's been different, but for now, that's an easy kind of shortcut to remember which one's which, because I always get them confused. Now, this car is, according to Dodge, much more sporty. In other words, the Challenger is the muscle car, the Charger is the sports car. But you know when you do that? They're both muscle cars, and that's the secret. Have they made it much more track-worthy? You know, I just had it on the track, and yeah, I would say they have made it much more track-worthy. It's still absolutely crazy bat, you know what, because that much power with tires and wheels that are not, I would say, the size of a steamroller, which is what this thing needs, is a little bit daunting. First impression, first time behind the wheel of this, is it's a big car. I think when you put a already big supercharger, and that thing is big, I mean it's that big, into a car, you have to not just put a big engine in the car, you have to upgrade everything. So you have to have the drive shaft, the drivetrain, the suspension, everything has to work, along with, of course, the transmission, an 8-speed automatic. All right, here is by far the most mind-blowing thing about this Charger Hellcat. The fact that not only do I fit, plenty of leg room, a little tight on the headroom, but that you can take your family to church on Sunday, and on the way home, with the kids in the back here, blow the doors off of any supercar out there. What was Dodge thinking when they built this thing? Oh my God! That is absolutely mind-boggling. I gotta do it one more time. The back end just let loose. I think I was in, what, 3rd gear, and the back end let loose. If we did not have electronics in this car, I would be off the road and into that tree, but that's the magic today. You can do it. You can put 707 horsepower into a car, and the car knows that you want to go left when you turn the wheel left, and so it takes the power away. It intercedes in a good way so that you don't end up wrapping it around a tree like you did maybe even 10 to 15 years ago. My God, is this addicting. All right. I was wrong. You do want 707 horsepower. Yeah, sure. More than 500 is probably crazy, but my gosh, is it fun? I think if I owned this car, I think I would go through a set of tires about every 2 days, because all I would do is just burn out. Oh, holy cow. Empty road ahead of me. Let's just see how it launches, huh? And there's 60. Oh my God. I don't know how long that took, but I'm betting that was probably around 5 seconds or so with that much wheel spin. Really, the issue with these cars is always getting the back end to lock up. All right, perhaps the most controversial thing about the Charger Hellcat, actually the Charger in general, is style. A lot of people say that it uses a little bit too much of that Dart corporate design language. And it really comes down to, do you want something that you can take to church and then blow the doors off any supercar on the way home? Or do you want something that is testosterone infused and that screams to the world, I will blow your doors off? Because they'll both blow the doors off most supercars, I think. All right, I know you Europeans are out there be like, you know, these are sledgehammers, these aren't scalpels, supercars are much more refined, there's much more technology, yada, yada, yada. Who cares? When you have this, I am just waiting for Dukes of Hazzard launch. This one, of course, is much more family friendly. You can put your family in it. You can go faster, 204 miles an hour, because it's 12% more aerodynamic. But this one is so much cooler. I mean, check this out. You gotta love this headlight with the hole for the supercharger. So for my money, I would get the Challenger just because, well, it's cheaper, $59,000 versus $63,000, but because, gosh darn it, it's America. And what we do in America is muscle cars, and this is a proper American muscle car.
Next on the list is the 2016 Honda HR-V. It's a baby brother to the CR-V, and it's kind of sort of based on the Honda Fit. And we find it to be something that we really desperately want to get up to Colorado to play with.
I bet you guys can guess what car I'm in, because there are very few cars in the world that combine art and raw power and just sheer engineering to create something that many people would call a work of art. Yep, it's a Pagani, and it's a Huayra, and it's one of less than a dozen that are in the United States. And coming up next, almost everything you ever want to know about this exotic supercar, hypercar, Uber car, I don't know what you call it, but for 1.5 million, maybe you call it a work of art.
Huayra,
okay.
The Pagani Huayra.
And is that Brazilian?
No, it's actually Spanish.
Okay.
It actually is the god of wind.
Okay.
So Huayra. But the name, I think, is definitely a little bit unique, but when you see the vehicle, it kind of all makes sense. The Pagani follows Leonardo da Vinci's concept of form and function, so everything on the vehicle is actually made for a purpose, including the brake flaps on the front and rear of the car on dual sides that help on apex turning and driving, suspension and steering, all the way wrapped around from the actual lines of the vehicle through the wind tunnel. The car is phenomenal throughout. The 7.4-liter AMG twin-turbo block with over 700 horsepower propels the car in 0 to 60 in shy of 3 seconds. But really on the Pagani Huayra, it's not much about speed. Even though the performance records on the car are so fantastic and record-breaking, the real beauty of this car is the craftsmanship, is what Horacio Pagani and his entire team were able to develop and create one piece of performing art. If you notice between the carbon fiber weave throughout the entire vehicle, how each vein matches up, even if it's separate pieces that were completely manufactured separately, they all match up. And that's part of Horacio Pagani's driven task of perfection. And I have to tell you, the Pagani Huayra really is today one of the most modern supercars, and has to be one of the most anticipated supercars to come to America for many years with his creation of the Zonda. So now with the rebirth of the Pagani Huayra, this coming into the States has been amazing, and we're blessed to be a dealer.
All right, now I have to ask you this, have you driven it?
Of course, this specific car I've driven over 1,500 miles myself.
How does it drive? Tell me, what's that experience like?
I'll explain it to you.
Yeah.
I think the experience of driving a Pagani Huayra, when you eliminate the intimidation factor and the concept that you're driving a $1.5 million car, you'd be blown away on how daily driven it is. We've sold these vehicles to customers that do utilize them daily. We sold the car to a customer of ours, Lamborghini KS, who has over 2,000 miles on his vehicle already, and he drives it in the streets of New York City, you know, to dinner or business meetings, and brings it down to Miami. And we respect and love those type of guys, because not only is the car beautiful to look at, but the car is fantastic to drive.
It looks like it's a really interesting combination of organic design and, you know, traditional metal and, of course, new age carbon fiber engineering. So I love this kind of detail where you've got carbon fiber and then you've got a leather strap, you know, kind of harkening back to the old days of the way that, you know, trunks and hoods were held down.
Yes, of course. And that's part of the cool factor of Pagani, is that the different materials that they utilize in the vehicle that aren't just performance-driven materials like the carbon fiber and the AMG motor, the interior leather samples, they all billet aluminum interior that's designed from one piece. Each piece is designed from one part of billet aluminum. You notice the creation of the leather exterior that all counter matches with the red brake calipers. It's really a unique experience.
At the very top of our list is the 2016 Shelby GT350. Oh, my heart flutters because we got some footage of it belting its mighty exhaust, and it was amazing. So absolutely, we all agree, all of TFL, this is the top car of the LA Auto Show.
Yes, indeed, another day at TFL and another racetrack. For the entire TFL team, this is Roman saying thanks for watching, and of course, don't forget to check out TFLcar.com for more news, views, and everyday reviews. Ciao.